My fiancé and her girlfriends were hanging out at a restaurant, and they made a bet about who could get their boyfriend to come pick them up last. Loser had to pay. Turns out, the loser was Ashley Walker. It was almost 2 a.m., and I still hadn't shown up. Myra Harris patted Ashley on the shoulder, a bit awkwardly. "Well, my boyfriend's finally done with work, Ash. Gotta run." Myra's boyfriend gave Ashley a knowing look, said nothing, and took Myra's hand as they left. When Ashley saw the rideshare arriving, her face instantly turned cold. Everyone knew Ashley had 2 lives. For years, she'd been engaged to me on the surface, but she was still secretly in love with her first love, Owen. She never let go of him. She kept it hidden. Her friends knew, her parents knew, but they all helped her keep it from me. Because they all knew I was Ashley's lifeline. If I ever found out, I'd leave her, and she'd freak out. But this time, she'd crossed a line. That night, after drinking the glass of milk Ashley personally handed me, my eyelids started to feel heavy, and I began to lose consciousness. I don't know how long it was, but I felt like I was in some strange place. All I could hear was a familiar voice. "Ashley, are you crazy? You're really going to kill Nathan and take his kidney for Owen?" It was Tiffany Chen. She's Ashley's best friend, the only one who would say anything to her. Ashley's voice was cold and terrifying. "Owen is in critical condition, and we can't wait. As for Nathan, I'll make it up to him. Doesn't he want me to marry him? After the surgery, I'll marry him. I'll never divorce him." Suddenly, glass shattered on the floor. Tiffany almost screamed. "A kidney, Ashley. What good is all that other stuff going to do when he is missing a kidney? I really don't get what Owen has given you to drink. Years ago, during the earthquake, you crippled your legs saving him and lost your inheritance, but he turned around and chased after another woman. During that time, it was Nathan who was by your side taking care of you and giving you shots. He used himself as a test subject, injecting himself until his legs were bruised, just to find a good doctor. He knelt in front of the doctor's door for a month. Now Owen is back, he sees you have risen again, he clings to you, forces you to miscarry Nathan's child and uses sweet words to deceive you that you aborted your first child from your womb. Until now Nathan still thinks that he accidentally killed the child and has been depressed for 3 months. Now you want to take his kidney for Owen. Enough." Ashley suddenly raised her voice. "I know he loves me. He loves me so much he'd sacrifice anything. And Owen is selfish, greedy, and superficial. But I still love Owen. I love him like crazy. So what is Nathan to you? What is he? He's nothing. I've made up my mind. No one can talk me out of it. I'm taking his kidney." As soon as she said that, I felt the scalpel cut into my skin. The anesthesiologist clearly underestimated my tolerance for the drug. Every bit of pain was clear. But worse than the physical pain was the agony in my chest. I'd loved Ashley for 10 years, from 16 to 26. My youth, my love, everything I had, I gave to her. I watched her love Owen, watched her go crazy for Owen, watched her fall apart after Owen dumped her. I was there for her through the darkest days after her accident, enduring her moods and her darkness. Even when she lost control and knocked me to the ground, I never complained. I just quietly got up and kept taking care of her. I thought that one day she'd turn and see me. But it turns out, in her eyes, I was nothing. A complete decade. Even after everything we'd been through, she only loved Owen. For one word from Owen, she callously aborted our child. For Owen's sake, she was now secretly taking my kidney. I don't know how long it was, but I felt something being separated from my body. It was my kidney, and it was all the love I had for the past 10 years. When I woke up, the smell of disinfectant burned my eyes. "You're awake?" A cold voice came from the door. My whole body stiffened. I slowly looked up. Ashley stood in the doorway, backlit, her slender figure a cold silhouette. She walked in, wearing a white dress, her long, slender legs, every step felt like it was crushing my heart. She sat down beside the bed, reached out and stroked my face, frowned, and asked, "Does it hurt a lot?" I looked at her, my heart clenched. How could she still gently ask if I was in pain? How could she, after personally ripping out my kidney and killing our child, still calmly sit in front of me, look at me with concern, and ask how I was doing? I opened my mouth. My voice was so hoarse I didn't recognize it. Ashley's face didn't change. Her voice was soft. "You had a sudden appendicitis. It was all taken care of." Appendicitis. I gave a sarcastic laugh. She couldn't even bother to come up with a good lie. She didn't realize anything was wrong, just thought I was in a lot of pain. She quickly said she'd find a doctor for me and hurried away. But this time, she wasn't coming back. 3 hours later, a nurse came in to change my bandages, quietly gossiping. "Director Walker is so good to Mr. Owen. Last night, she stayed up all night. Just heard that Mr. Owen woke up and wanted porridge from that old place on the west side of town, and she rushed out to buy it herself. It's pouring rain outside." Hearing those words, I couldn't stop the tears from flowing. So that was why she wasn't coming back. She was absolutely sure that I loved her so much that I wouldn't be angry. So she didn't even bother to send a simple text message explaining. "Ashley Walker, on what basis did you think I would love you without limits?" I looked out the window. I don't know how long it was before the nurse left. I took out my phone. My fingertip hovered over the screen for a second, then I dialed a number. The call connected. A soft, lazy female voice came from the other end. "Nathan?" I took a deep breath. My voice was very quiet, but very clear. "Scarlett Miller, are you interested in getting married to me?" The other end was silent for a moment. "You have the wrong number. I'm not Ashley Walker." "I know." I gripped the phone. My fingertips were white. "I'm asking you. I don't want to marry Ashley Walker anymore." Scarlett seemed to become interested. Her tone was slow. "And on what basis do you think I'd marry you?" I closed my eyes. My voice was calm. "Because you've always looked down on Ashley Walker." "Because..." I paused, each word deliberate. "The photo on your desk is slanted and taken at the perfect angle showing Ashley's most insecure flaws." "It's because I never noticed." Dead silence. I don't know how long it was before the other end came with a voice trying to sound normal. "How did you know?" I looked at the blank white ceiling of the hospital room. The 4 drip trickled, drop by drop, counting down the last of my foolish love. "You just need to answer, yes or no." The other end was silent for 2 seconds. Then, the woman finally spoke. Her voice held some unidentifiable emotion. It sounded breathless. "7 days from now, come to me. We'll get married. And one more thing," she paused. "After you marry me, you can never have any contact with Ashley Walker. Ever." I closed my eyes. My voice was clear but firm. "It won't happen. In 7 days, I'll never see her again." After hanging up, I booked a flight to Los Angeles 7 days later. It was Scarlett's territory. The next day, Ashley still didn't appear. Just a caregiver pushed the door open. Her voice was respectful. "Nathan, Director Walker is too busy with the company lately, so she asked us to come take care of you." I softly said, "Don't reveal that I know." Ashley wasn't busy, she was guarding Owen's bedside, not leaving for half a step. It wasn't until the day of my discharge that Ashley finally appeared. She was wearing a fitted dress, a hint of weariness between her eyebrows, but still beautiful enough to stir the heart. Seeing me packing up my things and standing at the door of the ward, she quickly walked over, reaching out to take my clothes. Her voice was apologetic and sorry. "Nathan, there's been a lot going on at the company recently, plus I've been preparing a surprise, so I haven't been able to be with you to prepare for the wedding." I avoided her hand, picked up my bag myself, and walked forward. "What kind of surprise?" Ashley's lips slightly curved upwards. Her eyes held a rare gentleness. I'll take you somewhere. Half an hour later, the car stopped in front of a luxury hotel. I followed Ashley inside. The moment she pushed open the doors to the banquet room, roses and candlelight filled my eyes. It was an engagement party. The guests turned their heads one by one, their eyes focused on me. Ashley took my hand and walked into the center, then took out a pair of rings from her pocket. Nathan, she looked up at me, her voice gentle and serious. Let's get engaged. I stared at her, stunned, my heart as if it had been clenched by an invisible hand. How much I had longed for this moment, but at this moment, looking at the exquisite and gorgeous ring, I felt extremely ironic. The long-awaited engagement ceremony was what I exchanged with my kidney. I was about to open my mouth to refuse, when the banquet room door was suddenly pushed open. Sorry, I'm late. A weak voice rang out. I turned my head and saw Owen standing at the door in a white shirt with a pale face and tearful eyes. Ashley, Nathan. Owen stepped forward, his voice choked. What happened back then was my fault. I shouldn't have bothered Ashley. I've been bothering you and I came here to wish you happiness. With that, he took out 2 exquisite gift boxes from his pocket and handed them to Ashley and me. I wish you all the best. With that, he turned to leave, but after taking 2 steps, his body suddenly staggered and fainted to the ground. Owen. Ashley's face suddenly changed. She suddenly stood up and rushed to support Owen. She even forgot that she was at her engagement party with me, forgot that the ring was still in her hand. The guests immediately buzzed. Whispers rose up. As usual, Director Walker doesn't see anyone else when she sees Owen. How many years has he been by her side, but it's not even worth one glance from Owen. It's all in her heart, every moment is for Owen. I stood on the spot, my fingertips digging deep into my palm. I watched Ashley help Owen leave in a hurry, watched Owen secretly mouth to me in Ashley's arms, "You will never be as good as me." It was a clumsy act, but Ashley believed it without a doubt. That night, Ashley didn't come home. I sat in the bedroom and took out all the photos related to Ashley, all the gifts. I threw all these odds and ends into a box, until I saw cute baby clothes. I grabbed the soft fabric. I couldn't help but blush when Ashley was pregnant. I had been eagerly looking forward to this child's birth. Looking forward to our marriage to be together for life. But now the 3-month pregnant child was killed by Ashley. I suppressed the pain in my heart, hugged the box full of garbage. The things have been thrown away. Also throw away all my love for Ashley. The next day, I went directly to the Walker Corporation to resign. In the past, when Ashley's legs were crippled, I had been right there with her. Later, when her legs recovered, the first thing she did was sign a betting agreement. Only if she doubled the company's revenue in 3 years could she get everything back. To help her, I did everything with her from client meetings to staying up late to drinking until I vomited blood. But what did I get? I will never be so stupid again. Hearing that I wanted to resign, the company suddenly became commotion. Almost everyone was holding me back. Mr. Nathan, are you really going to resign? Can't you really stay? It's not like we're doing well. Why do you suddenly want to resign? We're all led by you. What will happen to us without you in the future? And Director Walker will definitely need you. Doesn't she need me? Is it not still good without me now that I am not in Ashley Walker's life? I shook my head. I shrugged my shoulders slightly. I really want to resign. I've been tired for the past few years. I want to rest for a while. No one can live without anyone. You will be very good and so will she. After saying goodbye to everyone, I left the company with my personal belongings. After returning home, Ashley called, her voice with a rare hint of surprise. You resigned? I said calmly, because there are many things to prepare for the wedding, I can't go to work. Ashley didn't think much about it, only thought that I had agreed to the engagement last time and was busy preparing for the wedding. Her voice softened and apologetic. Recently, I have a project to go on a business trip and I don't have time to be with you to prepare for the wedding. Before I could say anything, Owen's voice suddenly rang out on the other end. Ashley, thank you for my strawberries. Ashley's voice immediately became distant. Don't mess around. I'm on the phone. Ashley, do you want to eat it? If you don't, I'll find another woman. Okay. The phone hung up. My heart ached, I trembled and opened WeChat. Sure enough, Owen posted a photo of Ashley feeding him fruit. Feeling loved is so good, and many other provocative comments. I closed my eyes and turned off my phone. In the middle of the night, I was suddenly awakened by a sharp phone call. Trin Thursday Na's panicked voice came over the earpiece. Nathan, Ashley was stabbed more than a dozen times to save Owen. Now she is losing too much blood and the blood bank is short of type B blood. Your blood type and Owen's blood type both match her. But Owen said that he just had a kidney transplant and could not donate blood and ran away. Can you come and save her? Hearing these things, I only felt that my ears were buzzing and bitterness of the things that I have been through. I also lost a kidney. How could I donate blood? The person on the other end of the line saw that I was silent. Their voice was full of anxious urgency. Nathan, consider it as me begging you. If you don't donate blood, she will really die. Owen is not reliable and only you can save her. She urged me again and again. I remained silent, my head was confused. After a long time, I still couldn't see death without saving. I put on my coat and rushed to the hospital. In the hospital, I lay on the blood collection bed. Looking at the dark red blood flowing out of my body, I had been taking blood that was already weak until my eyes darkened and I finally fainted. When I woke up, it was noon the next day. I struggled to sit up and wanted to be discharged from the hospital and check on Ashley's condition. But just outside Ashley's ward, I heard the conversation between her and Tiffany Chin. Ashley, you were so badly injured to save Owen, but he abandoned you and ran away again. This time, if Nathan didn't donate blood to save you, you would have really died. Please, can't you see Owen's true face and treat Nathan better? Lam Kai-Vai was silent for a few seconds and her voice was cold. Owen just had a kidney transplant and it is normal that he is in bad health. Don't make things up. Hearing this sentence, Trin Thursday Na almost couldn't breathe. Owen is in bad health, so is Nathan in good health? Look at the past few years and how you've been treating him. Are you not afraid that if he finds out, he will leave you forever? Lam Kai-Vai's voice was determined. No, he loves me deeply, just like I love Owen deeply. He will never leave me. I stood outside the ward listening to Lam Kai-Vai's determined words, he will never leave me. Inside, his heart was like it had been chopped with a dull knife, it hurt so badly that I almost suffocated. It turns out this is called being able to rely on the person you love forever. But Lam Kai-Vai has always been wrong because of me. I don't love you anymore. That's why this time, I'm leaving for good. I can't stay here anymore. I turned to leave, but the ringing of Ashley's phone in the hospital room stopped me. Owen? Her voice instantly softened. What is it? The indistinct voice of Owen came from the other end. I couldn't make out the words, but Ashley's face suddenly changed. She abruptly threw back the covers and ripped the 4 out of the back of her hand. Fresh blood immediately soaked through, but she didn't seem to feel the pain. She grabbed her coat and started to walk out. Be careful. Tiffany pulled her back, her voice full of anger. What are you doing now? You're not healed and the doctor told you not to leave. Ashley ripped her hand away, her voice cold. Owen says he can't sleep. I have to go to him. Are you serious, Ashley? You almost died for him. Tiffany exploded. Have you even thought about asking if Nathan is doing okay after donating blood for you? Ashley paused, but didn't turn around. She didn't even grab her coat, just pushed open the door and left. She didn't even notice me standing outside. I watched her rush away, silent for a long time. Finally, I just gave a soft laugh. I should be used to it by now. Owen just has to frown, and Ashley's world collapses. As for me? I could bleed to death, and she wouldn't even glance my way. 2 days later, Ashley came back. When she pushed open the door, I was sitting on the sofa, sorting through plane tickets and documents. "Nathan," she walked in front of me, her voice unusually gentle. "I heard you donated blood for me." "You're so silly." I calmly put the documents down, didn't even look up. "It's good that you're okay." Ashley didn't seem to notice my coldness. She casually sat down beside me and took my hand. "The engagement last time was interrupted by Owen. This time, I'm preparing a new party to make it up to you." I finally looked up at her. Only then did I see that, because of the blood loss and her refusal to stay in the hospital, her complexion wasn't good at all. "Forget it," I softly said. "What if Owen faints again?" Ashley frowned, her voice determined. "This time, no. I won't invite him." I laughed. She didn't understand my sarcasm, but I didn't say anything more, just nodded. On the way to the party, Ashley was driving, and I was sitting in the passenger seat, looking out the window as the scenery rushed by. Suddenly, Ashley's phone rang. She picked it up, and the sound of Owen's plaintive crying came through the speaker. "Ashley, I'm being kidnapped. They said they're going to kill me." Ashley's face immediately turned pale. She abruptly slammed on the brakes and directly opened a tracking app. A red dot immediately flashed on the screen, moving towards the suburbs. "Damn it," she roared, slamming her hands on the steering wheel. The car spun around and sped towards the suburbs. Thrown by the force of the sharp turn, I slammed into the door, my forehead hitting the glass hard. Blood immediately streamed down from my eyebrow. But Ashley didn't notice at all. Her only thought was for Owen's safety. The car sped recklessly down the highway, finally stopping at an abandoned bridge. The rain was heavy, and I couldn't even see the figures in front of me clearly. I could only vaguely see Owen, with a knife held to his throat by a man, standing at the edge of the bridge. "Ashley, you finally came." The man screamed wildly. "You bankrupted my company, forced my wife to jump off a building. Now, I'm going to make you lose the person you love most." Ashley got out of the car. The rain soaked her clothes, but she didn't seem to feel the cold. She took one step closer. "You're wrong," her voice was cold. "The person I love most isn't him." The man was stunned. The knife wavered slightly from Owen's throat. "What?" Ashley's voice was cold. "Didn't you investigate? The person you kidnapped is my ex-boyfriend. He dumped me when I was crippled years ago. I hate him to the core." Ashley gave a cold laugh. "The person I love now is the one who's been by my side all these years." With that, she turned to look at me in the car. Her eyes were so deep that they could drown you. I was stunned. It was the first time Ashley had looked at me with such eyes, but it was at this moment. The man looked at me with suspicion. Ashley seized the opportunity and continued to say, "If you want to kidnap Owen, then go ahead. Nathan and I are going to look at wedding stuff tomorrow. We don't have time to be here with you." With that, she even reached out her hand towards me, her voice gentle. "Nathan, let's go." My whole body turned ice cold. I finally understood. Ashley was using me as a shield, wanting the kidnapper to shift his target and spare Owen. The man, as expected, wavered. He abruptly shoved Owen away and directly lunged towards me. "So you're the one she loves most." He grabbed my collar and dragged me towards the edge of the bridge. Ashley's pupils contracted. She abruptly rushed forward. But the first thing she did was grab Owen. The man pulled me off of the bridge. All I could hear was the rushing of wind. As the cold river water flooded over my head, I vaguely heard Ashley's cold voice coming from the bridge above. "Save the kidnapper first. Don't let him get away. Put him in jail so that everything will be taken care of so that he doesn't cause Owen any more problems." I wanted to laugh, but the river water flooded my lungs. It hurt so much that my vision went black. Before I completely lost consciousness, I finally understood. In Ashley's heart, my life wasn't even worth more than a kidnapper. When I woke up in the hospital, I heard the doctor's serious voice. Nathan, in recent years, your body has been run down too much. You've been drinking too much, physically and mentally exhausted, plus the old injuries left by the medication. This time, falling from the bridge again caused serious damage. You have to rest well, or else. Before the doctor could finish, Ashley, realizing that I was awake, quickly walked to the bedside, her voice carrying a rare concern. Nathan, you're awake. Is there anywhere that feels uncomfortable? I looked at her, my eyes completely calm. If she were really worried about me, how could she have chosen to save the kidnapper first without hesitation? Seeing that I was silent, Ashley reached out to touch my face, but I turned my head to avoid her. She paused, her voice low and full of regret. This time, I was careless. I'll make it up to you. I softly curled my lips, said nothing. Ashley, you owe me too much. You can't make up for it all. Perhaps feeling guilty, Ashley stayed at the hospital and guarded me for 2 whole days. When I was discharged, she immediately took me to an auction, saying she wanted to make it up to me. I refused several times, but she wouldn't listen, so I had to follow her. As soon as we arrived at the auction, we ran into an old acquaintance, Owen. But this time Ashley didn't even glance at Owen. She took extra steps to stay by my side, not leaving for half a step. She poured hot water for me, peeled crab shells for me, and even occasionally gently asked me if I was cold. I knew she was acting. Acting for who to see? Maybe acting for herself, so that she wouldn't feel too guilty, so that her heart would feel a little better. Before the auction started, Ashley received a phone call and left for a moment. I stood alone by the bar, sipping some champagne. A woman walked over and smiled, asking for my contact information. You're very handsome. Can I get to know you? Before I could open my mouth, suddenly a hand from behind wrapped around my waist and pulled me into an embrace. He's my fiancé. Ashley's voice was as cold as ice. Her eyes were dark as she stared at the other person. The woman's face changed. She quickly apologized and left. Ashley lifted her head and looked at me, her eyebrows tightly furrowed. Nathan, someone was hitting on you and you didn't refuse? What were you saying? That we're not married yet? Right? Ashley stroked my face, her voice carrying an undeniable possessiveness. Sooner or later, we're getting married. Besides marrying me, who else do you want to marry? She looked directly into my eyes, each word deliberate. Anyway, in this life, I'm only marrying you. I looked at her, suddenly smiling sarcastically. How could she, when she didn't even love me, dare to swear that she would only marry me? After the auction started, Ashley almost auctioned off everything that I liked, spending money like water without hesitation. Owen was sitting not far away, his dark eyes staring at us. When I went to the restroom, Owen followed me in. He locked the door and gave a cold laugh. You're very proud of yourself today, aren't you? Do I need to remind you? Ashley's feelings for you are just guilt, not love. You still don't know, do you? That time she was pregnant, it was already 3 months along. I said that I couldn't bear to see her pregnant with another man's child. She didn't say a word and drank the abortion medicine. And just recently, my kidney was failing. She didn't hesitate to cut out your kidney for me. Not to mention that time on the bridge, she deliberately said she hated me, when the truth was she wanted to trick you into danger. No matter when or where, as long as I need it, she will satisfy everything for me. Owen stepped closer, his voice stern and low. You've lost completely. Owen originally thought that after saying these things, he would immediately see an angry look on my face. That would surely be very satisfying. But unexpectedly, from beginning to end, I remained calm. I turned on the faucet, looked up at Owen. I said with a tranquil tone, was that it? Owen was stunned. I dried my hands, my voice calm. I don't care. Anyway, I'm leaving soon. Owen looked at me in disbelief. How could you not care about Ashley? Before the question was halfway out, his expression suddenly changed. He raised his hand and punched himself in the face hard. The sound echoed in the restroom. Before I could react, Ashley rushed in and pushed me away. "What are you doing?" I staggered backward. My back slammed into the sharp corner of a decorative table. It hurt so much that my vision went black. But Ashley didn't even glance at me, directly supported Owen, her voice cold. "I've already made it up to you. Why are you still causing trouble with Owen?" Owen covered his face and pretended to be hurt, saying, "Don't blame Nathan. It's all my fault." Ashley's face turned dark. She took care of Owen and turned to leave. As the couple were ready to exit the bathroom with their arms wrapped around one another, Owen turns and smiles with victory on his face. I just remained there with my back against the wall of the bathroom. Laughter after laughter was eventually interrupted by Red and I Corner. "You see, folks, this is exactly what it has been the last 10 years of my life. What kind of outcome have been achieved?" On that night, Ashley did not come. I did not summon her even once. My heart has been completely dead and has stopped concerning itself on where she had been and who she was dealing with. On the night just before my departure, I invited a series of close and dearest associates with the intent of enjoying the most opulent hotel situated at the heart of the city while enjoying a farewell feast. Each brother drunkenly cursed Lam Kai Vai's being ungrateful and inhumane. In my student years, Tan Tuat Lan harbored sentiments for you that were 1,000 times stronger than what Lam Kai Vai felt. I could only laugh as I downed drink after drink. On the night before the day that I depart from the city, I stood there soberly. I was just about ready to leave when out of nowhere, Lam Kai Vai, Trin Thursday Na's voices can be heard coming down the hallway. "Because of Owen, you are becoming more absurd with each given day. After everything Owen has forced you to do to save his Sarie ***, are you not ashamed?" With an ice-cold tone, Lam Kai Vai responded, "If I don't do it, other people are going to do it." The silence caused Trin Thursday Na to question why she had even bothered in the first place. After doing nothing for anyone but Owen, does she even believe in the people that she stands by? In the end, Trin Thursday Na storms off in response to her inability to convince her. As she had intended, Lam Kai Vai turned around and headed towards the other way. I could only stare at them as they went down the hallway. Just right after, I felt the sudden presence of a force that brought me forward. I found myself staring at the doorway of one of the rooms. I had not intended for my stare to be as direct as it was, but what was inside caused me to question what I had just seen. And just what was it? Tong Kam Nien was pinned against Lam Kai Vai and began undressing her. He began speaking in a tone that I had not once heard before from him, "Let's have kids." With the most mesmerizing tone, Lam Kai Vai grabbed him and stated, "But you must also promise that you will not have kids with anyone else but me." With not a sound escaping my lips, I quietly took out my phone and recorded all that was occurring. With the rising of each sun, I only found that there was even less and less of a feeling of wanting to love at all. On the early hours of the day of departure, Lam Kai Vai stood near the door with a blank expression that seemed to have already been emptied of all love. She turned around and stated, "Teach me how to make the tonic soup." And without another moment of hesitation, I proceeded to instruct her on how to begin making the tonic. I never once had a moment where I felt that someone like her would ever be capable of asking that of me. She, the very person, asked to have been taught. And so I taught her. As her instructor, I spoke with the most stern expression and made certain that she understood what I meant. And upon its completion, she took a sip and was overjoyed with the taste. With a short glance at the watch, she grabbed everything and ran out of the house. Just before leaving, she spoke, "There's not much I can do in the next few days. I will spend all my time with you from now on." And just a few moments before daybreak, I had already boarded the plane and departed the city. It was on this day that I decided that loving for a single person was simply not worth it. Before the 6-hour mark that would mark the departure, I made the decision to visit each place that held a memory. I stood in the same spot where I would always stare at her in high school. I erased my name from the desk and found that there was nothing left. From 4 to 5 I was at Lover's Bridge. It's a location famous for lovers marking the spot where they were. And at one of those locations, I found my own name. I smiled and erased what was there. At around 4, I arrived at the place that Lam Kai Vai and Tong Kam Nien were in together. They were there to give thanks and state their wishes. One of the many that were, "May the lady by my side be forever loved." Just before it was the time for departure, I turned around one more time and headed out. Red silk, all discarded in the corner. These were all the prayers I'd written over the years. Praying for Ashley's legs to heal, praying for Ashley's peace and happiness, praying to grow old with Ashley. I gave a wry smile, my eyes stinging. It was just as well, saving me the trouble of throwing them away myself. Now, finally, I grabbed my luggage and headed to the airport. The airport PA system announced boarding for my flight. After boarding, the flight attendant politely reminded me to turn off my phone. I opened my photo library and found the video I'd recorded that day. The scene of Ashley and Owen entwined. I selected the video and tapped send. Then, I typed, word by word, "Ashley, I know you gave my kidney to Owen. I know that in a fit of anger, you secretly aborted our child. I know you wanted to have a child belonging to you and Owen. I also know that you have succeeded, Ashley. I don't need you anymore. I'm completely returning you to Owen." I tapped send, blocked her number, deleted her contact, and turned off my phone. As the plane soared into the clouds, I looked out the window at the rolling sea of clouds, and gently closed my eyes. This time I wouldn't look back. The plane took off and landed. When I grabbed my luggage and walked out of the airport, I felt like I was in a daze. Just then, a slender, pale hand took mine and relieved me of the luggage. "Are you so distracted that you're still thinking about Ashley?" There was a hint of danger on Scarlett Miller's exquisite face, as if the moment I said yes, she'd drag me away, cutting off any chance of me returning to Ashley and imprisoning me by her side. Seeing her like that, I was a little surprised, but I still shook my head. "I've completely let her go. I promised you I'd never like Ashley again, much less have any contact with her." Hearing those words, a smile quickly appeared on Scarlett's face. "I hope you mean what you say," she said with a false air of arrogance, but her hand held mine more firmly as she led me toward the line of cars that were waiting. The entire fleet of black cars was identical, each trunk open, filled with countless roses and balloons. Under the gazes of countless people, Scarlett pulled out a pair of glittering rings from who knows where and held them out to me. "I know this might seem a little too fast for you, but I don't want to wait any longer. I want to marry you right now, and never let you go. I love you. Let's get married, okay?" Clearly, marrying Scarlett was something I had considered. Seeing such an unexpected scene, I couldn't help but feel touched. All these years, while I was loving someone else, Scarlett had persisted in loving me, only not daring to let me know. I covered my face, quickly wiping away the tears in my eyes. Amid the cheers of the crowd, I reached out and took the ring. "I do." Scarlett was clearly also very emotional, stunned for a moment, but before she could react, I'd already put the ring on her finger and motioned for her to put the ring on mine. Then, Scarlett hurriedly grabbed my hand and got into the car. "Did you bring your ID? Let's go register right now, to avoid any unforeseen problems." As she said that, she took out the various documents she'd brought and placed them in front of me. She'd been waiting for this day for a long time and wanted to quickly make everything official. Infected by Scarlett's excitement, my heart inexplicably pounded like a drum, especially fast. I had all the documents with me. "Let's go to the marriage registration office." As soon as the words left my mouth, Scarlett floored it, driving to the marriage registration office. Everything seemed to be on fast forward, so fast it was unbelievable. Smile. Click. The wedding photo was taken. The stamp pressed down on the marriage license. Holding the 2 new marriage licenses, still faintly smelling of ink, Scarlett and I were both a little dazed, feeling like we couldn't believe it. We were actually married. Something that had seemed impossible before was now a reality. Scarlett was so moved that she was speechless, hugging me tightly. It was as if only this way could she confirm that I was really by her side. I let her hug me, my heart filled with an indescribable sense of relief. From now on, Ashley and I were no longer connected. However, what I didn't know was that the video of Scarlett lavishly spending money for a surprise proposal at the airport had gone viral online, even reaching Owen's eyes. In the hotel, Ashley had just finished washing her face when she saw Owen holding his phone, hesitating to say something. He looked at her with an awkward expression. "If you have something to say, just say it," Ashley said, casually using a towel to dry her dripping hair. The bathrobe she wore couldn't hide the hickeys on her fair neck. Owen pursed his lips, pretending to be embarrassed, and held the phone screen in front of her. "The person in the video kind of looks like Nathan. Am I seeing things? Weren't you and he successfully engaged and about to get married? Why would he agree to someone else's proposal and want to marry someone else? Could it be that he was secretly seeing another woman and was vague about it?" Saying that, he paused, his eyes full of malice, but quickly explained for Nathan. "Nathan loves you so much. The person in the video probably isn't him. It must be someone who just looks like him. Or maybe they're long-lost brothers. But to be honest, the two people in the video look pretty good together. A talented man and a beautiful woman. Countless people say they're a good match, very happy and successful, if they were together." The more Owen explained, the worse he made it sound. Ashley's face instantly darkened. In her inky black eyes, a fire of anger ignited. She wasn't stupid. She couldn't fail to recognize the person in the video. It really was Nathan and Scarlett Miller. How could he agree to Scarlett's proposal? Was he crazy? A rage erupted in her chest. She was about to call me to ask for an explanation, but discovered that she had been blocked. She couldn't call at all. Not only that, all methods of contact had been blocked and deleted. Hours earlier, the long message and video I'd sent in WeChat suddenly appeared before her eyes. Almost instantly, the anger in her heart was extinguished by a bucket of ice water. Her whole body turned cold. He knows everything. Ashley was utterly panicked. Her fingers trembled as she opened the video. The main characters in the video were her and Owen. That night, they had been entangled, crazed, and chaotic for a long time. The video was slightly shaky, and you could even feel my mood when seeing all of this. Ashley only felt her mind go blank. She couldn't even hear the sounds around her. Every single word of mine was decisive to the extreme. Ashley read that last sentence again and again, but still couldn't believe her eyes. How could this be? Wasn't he deeply in love with her? Didn't he love her so much that he was willing to do anything for her? Why did he suddenly stop loving her? Why did he suddenly not need her anymore? How did he find out about the kidney transplant, the abortion, and the fact that she wanted to have a child with Owen? Ashley's face was pale, but she couldn't speak, couldn't utter a word. Her mind was utterly chaotic. She couldn't even think straight. The person who loved her deeply suddenly said one day that he didn't love her anymore. How could she accept that? But if she knew what he had done, she couldn't accept it at all. And if she didn't know, she would obediently continue to be with him. Someone must have told him everything. Almost instantly, a figure appeared in Ashley's mind, Tiffany Chen. Thinking of her, Ashley quickly called Tiffany. "Did you tell Nathan everything I did? Otherwise, how would he agree to someone else's proposal?" Hearing Ashley's accusatory tone, Tiffany was stunned. She had just left the restroom and wasn't yet clear on what had happened, but she subconsciously retorted, "What are you talking about? I didn't say anything to Nathan. I'm not even close to him. He agreed to someone else's proposal? When? Stop joking around." Even though she said that, Ashley still didn't believe it. Besides Tiffany, who was always saying good things about him, there was no one else. "I get it. Today, he caused this scene of breaking up and proposing. You all colluded together, didn't you? Aren't you just trying to see me regret it? I already said, I only like Owen. I've already agreed to marry him. The engagement was already held. All that's missing is the marriage certificate. What else does he want? I get it. Is he in a hurry to get married? He's blocked all my methods of contact. Please help me inform him. I can register to get married to him right now. That way, he won't make a fuss anymore, right? Ashley impatiently smoothed her hair, trying to suppress her anger. Tiffany almost laughed at her. Ashley, his matters have nothing to do with me. Before, I defended him simply because I couldn't stand you bullying him like that. Now, he's finally seen the light. Breaking up with you. Your matters are not my concern. Don't look for me for help in the future. You deserve it. With that, a dial tone rang out. Tiffany angrily hung up the phone. Ashley stared blankly at the phone, her expression complex. Owen saw her panic. His face turned ugly for a moment, but he still tried to maintain a smile. Ashley, you also said that he loves you so much. He's definitely just temporarily not thinking straight and throwing a tantrum. He'll be fine once he calms down. Don't worry too much. He's always been by your side for so many years, never willing to leave. How could he leave because of such a small matter? Moreover, there are reasons and difficulties for him to save my kidney and abort our child. As long as you explain clearly, he will definitely understand. Who knows, in a few days, he'll figure it out himself and come back to you. After all, you've been in love for so many years. You can't let go of me overnight, now can you, Kai Vai? He nonchalantly consoled her. Whether it was a real breakup or a pretended breakup, it didn't concern him. He only wanted to make Lam Kai Vai feel a little better. After all, he still needed a healthy child. If the woman's mood wasn't good, it would affect her ability to have children. Owen slowly stroked her belly a few times, anticipating this child's birth. If it weren't for the fact that his old man was about to die, only having a few years left, and would be dividing the Song family's assets, he wouldn't be in a hurry for Ashley to have a child, thereby being tied to the child. Their Song family only had him as a son, but there were many illegitimate children. The collateral lines were also eyeing the Song family's assets. He didn't want such a large amount of property to fall into the hands of others. Ashley lowered her eyes, not saying a word, as if she had heard Owen's words, and also as if her mind was elsewhere, not hearing anything. It was until Owen called her a few times, when he put his arm around her neck and kissed her, that she gradually reacted. You're right, Owen. He loves me. No matter what, he won't leave. It's normal to throw a little tantrum every now and then. Anyway, I'm easy to coax. I'll explain my troubles to him later, and he'll definitely understand. Ashley tried to suppress the unease in her heart, responding to Owen's kiss. The two were entangled again, unwilling to part. In the next 3 days, Ashley accompanied Owen to many tourist destinations, and they also spent many nights entangled, crazed throughout the night. However, for 3 consecutive days, there wasn't a single message from me on her phone. Don't even mention a message. I didn't even unblock her. The unease in Ashley's heart became increasingly obvious. Even when she was by Owen's side, part of her mind was not focused. After a long time, she suddenly looked at Owen with an apologetic expression. Owen, I can't be with you temporarily. Work is busy. I've been gone for a few days and should go back and take care of things. Okay, Ashley, even when you're busy with work, don't be too tired. Remember to rest. Owen nonchalantly responded. Ashley didn't notice, or perhaps it could be said that she was used to his attitude. He had always been like this. Only when he needed her would he be nice to her. If he didn't need her, he would nonchalantly throw her aside. She had once hated this personality of his, but she couldn't let him go. She had no choice but to accept it. After taking Owen home, Ashley also returned to the villa. As soon as she entered the villa, she couldn't help but frown. It seemed like there were many things missing in the villa, but it was also as if nothing had changed. Butler, where's Nathan? Hasn't he returned yet? How long does he plan on making a fuss? Ashley frowned, her voice cold. The butler and the servants looked at each other awkwardly, sighed deeply, and then mustered their courage to speak. Ma'am, Nathan packed his things and left 3 days ago. He didn't leave anything that belonged to him behind. You didn't ask, and we all thought you knew. Also, Nathan seems to have married Scarlett Miller. It's currently spreading like wildfire online. Are you two really broken up, or is it just a lover's quarrel? Do we need to inform the assistant to do something and remove this news? As he said that, he also showed Ashley the news photos. Hearing the butler say that, Ashley was as if struck by lightning, her ears ringing. She seemed to not hear any sounds. After a long time, she reluctantly found her voice. Butler, Nathan really left? Really got married? Really doesn't need me anymore? This really isn't him acting, right? How could he marry Scarlett Miller? He clearly knows that Scarlett is my sworn enemy. Why would he do that to anger me? She was utterly incredulous. She looked at the photo of the marriage certificate with me and Scarlett countless times, but still couldn't convince herself. He had made a mistake. He had wronged me. He clearly understood, so he decided to use the rest of his life to make it up to me. Why did he still have to marry Scarlett? Ashley angrily threw the butler's phone against the wall, and shattered. She was red-eyed with anger, almost losing her mind. He had made up his mind to leave. In the villa, you could hardly find a trace of me left behind. Ashley clenched her fists, her nails almost digging into her flesh, so angry that she couldn't breathe. Scarlett has been against me for so many years. How could she be a good person? Does he understand Scarlett? Why would he marry her so casually? Isn't he afraid of being bullied, tortured, and used to death? The more Ashley thought about it, the more she couldn't help but worry about me. After a long time, she called a phone number that had long been forgotten. Scarlett? This is Ashley Walker. Nathan is my man. He only agreed to be with you in a fit of anger. You better treat him well. He's not a tool for you to go up against me with. I advise you to quickly bring him back to my side. Otherwise, I definitely won't let you go. Ashley, eyes ice cold, her fingertips somewhat restlessly tapping on the table, as if she was about to lose her patience. Scarlett on the other end gave a cold laugh. Ashley, Nathan is now my legal husband. What should be done and what shouldn't be done between us, we've already done it all. You're telling me to bring him back to your side? Are you dreaming? As she said that, she especially emphasized the 4 words legal husband. There was a hint of satisfaction in her voice. Ashley, a person who had experienced everything, how could she not understand what this tone implied? She unconsciously clenched her fists. If it weren't for the fact that they were separated by a phone call, it was likely that this slap would have already landed on Scarlett's face. Before Ashley could speak, Scarlett continued coldly, Ashley, Nathan doesn't need you anymore. He doesn't love you at all anymore. Anyway, you like Owen more, and Nathan isn't needed anyway. That charity of hers doesn't deserve the goodness he gave her. The one she doesn't treasure, I treasure like a precious jewel. Isn't having Owen enough for her? Nathan has already let her go. Why is she still incessantly bothering him? What's the point? Hearing this, Ashley was silent. He was very good to me, loved me very much. I'm very clear on this point. He's now marrying someone else, no longer entangled with me, no longer appearing by my side, much less needing me to atone for the mistakes I've made. What else does he want? Doesn't he know? He only knows. He can't let go of me. Otherwise, he'll regret it for the rest of his life. Ashley thought so and spoke so. Scarlett didn't want to continue arguing with Ashley about these meaningless topics. He has already let go. If you still don't let him go, I will absolutely not let you off. I advise you to not bother our lives again. We are very happy right now and don't need you to interfere. Having said that, Scarlett was about to hang up. At this moment, Ashley could clearly hear me calling to Scarlett on the other end, Scarlett, didn't you say you were going to cook for me? I'm very hungry. Previously, I only showed weakness in front of her. Later, to help her negotiate more collaborations, I learned to be calm and cold and gradually depended on her less often. Ashley was stunned for a moment and couldn't even remember the last time I had depended on her like this. If I could hear her innermost thoughts at this moment, she would definitely tell her, "It's not that I don't rely on you. It's just that you've disappointed me too many times. I can't rely on you. You can abandon me at any time because of Owen's appearance, so I don't want to and don't dare to rely on you." Ashley didn't understand. She only felt as if countless needles were stabbing into her chest, sending waves of intense pain. Why did she feel so uncomfortable when she heard me happy with Scarlett? I no longer needed her to take responsibility. She should be happy, right? Later, when she gave birth to Owen's child, the three of them would be together. Who knows, Owen might agree to marry her. They would be very happy. There would be no me in that happiness. This was what Ashley had dreamed of before. But now, she felt an indescribable sense of discomfort in her heart. Ashley tried not to think about Nathan, rest in bed, but throughout the night, she couldn't sleep at all. The entire villa was eerily quiet. These days, she had been with Owen, and her eating and drinking were very irregular. Late at night, the food in her stomach continued to churn. Her stomach ached so much that she curled up, her face pale, her whole body almost soaked in cold sweat. "Nathan, I need medicine." Ashley gritted her teeth, weakly calling my name subconsciously. But all that answered her was the silent air. She had forgotten that I had left long ago, had married Scarlett. The waves of pain didn't stop, almost driving her crazy. Not knowing how long it had been, Ashley reluctantly propped herself up, staggered out of bed, and opened the drawer to find stomach medicine. Why isn't there any? Clearly, Nathan always left stomach medicine here. She had just realized. I had left. Ashley staggered out. The butler saw her like that and quickly supported her, giving her stomach medicine and kindly advising her, "Ma'am, no matter how busy you are with work, don't forget to eat on time. Your stomach isn't good. You must always pay attention. Ma'am, do you feel better? Do you want to eat anything? I'll have Mrs. Wong make it right away." After taking the stomach medicine, Ashley's complexion gradually returned to rosy. "I want to drink ginseng chicken soup," she blurted out subconsciously. The rich, delicious flavor seemed to be engraved in her mind. Mrs. Wong didn't think much, made a pot of ginseng chicken soup, and brought it in front of Ashley. She only took a sip, the greasy taste filling her mouth, but she immediately lost her appetite. She even felt a little nauseous. "This taste isn't right," Ashley said with a dark expression and knocked over the bowl. The butler and Mrs. Wong looked at each other, both looking awkward. "Madam, I have been cooking with the directions that Nathan has provided to me before." Mrs. Wong trembled, said, fearing job loss. Ashley frowned and went into the kitchen. Following the steps that I had taught her in her memory, step by step, she made it. "Not right. Not right. It's all not right." Breaking bowl after bowl, the frustration in her heart became increasingly clear. Clearly, the procedures were exactly the same, but the taste of the chicken soup was never right. Could it be because Nathan wasn't here? The more Ashley thought, the angrier she got. She abruptly trashed the entire kitchen, making a mess. "I only love Owen," she repeated red-eyed, convincing herself. After a long time of forcing herself down, she drove straight to the company, finishing all the work that had accumulated over the past few days. For many consecutive days, Ashley almost wanted to live at the company. But I had resigned, and the company's atmosphere was also somewhat different from before. The projects weren't going smoothly, and the collaboration between employees wasn't as harmonious as before. Conflicts and arguments were becoming more frequent, making Ashley's mood increasingly worse. In the meeting room, Ashley slammed a plan onto the table. "Is this your attitude? For this national park collaboration project, if the next plan you submit is still at this level, you don't need to work anymore. There are differences between this bidding document and the plan we decided on. How did you guys check it? Making such basic mistakes?" It seems like I need to reevaluate your abilities. Who is in charge of the collaboration negotiation and project follow-up? The entire meeting room was silent. You could almost hear a pin drop. Almost every project manager and every department head was criticized one by one. Everyone almost wanted to bury their heads in the ground, only feeling that this short meeting was particularly torturous. Not knowing how long it had been, Ashley finally announced the end of the meeting. Everyone was as if released, quickly leaving the meeting room in succession. Ashley sighed deeply, tiredly leaning back in her chair. I had left, and her life had changed. Many of the company's backbone whom Ashley confided in were no longer there. Everyone was afraid to meet with her, and the results of her team's work was getting worse. Even the house was cold. Although there were still servants in the house, there was no warmth of the old days. When she was paralyzed for the past 2 years, I sought the best care in order to get Ashley running again. And she would never forget the feeling of warmth that I brought with me when I used to massage her legs for hours. And these days, the pain in her legs was particularly obvious and uncomfortable. Ashley punched her legs hard because it was too uncomfortable, but it couldn't alleviate the pain at all. In those moments she could only desperately call my name with a whisper. The memories of me in her heart grew stronger and stronger. She even remembered my big, warm hands, the feeling of acupressure massage on her legs. Now, I had left completely, no longer wanting her. Everything around her was messed up. She needed help in maintaining control with her new disorder, and what she had before was nothing more than something she could not control. It wasn't that I couldn't leave her, it's that she couldn't leave me. Without me, her life was completely messed up. Everything became unstable. Ashley felt a little regret. She had thought she could accept the days without me. The truth was completely the opposite. Every minute and every second since she knew I had left, she missed me. She hoped that I would appear before her in the next moment, returning to how we were before. But I had married Scarlett. Ashley felt short of breath just thinking about this. She was about to call Scarlett when suddenly, Owen called her first. Kai Vi, do you remember that time I took you to the doctor? The results are out. You're pregnant. We're going to have a child. He said with a tone that was way too excited to be normal. Ashley stood frozen in place. After a long time, she reacted. What had Owen just said? Happy? She should be happy. But why was her first reaction not happiness, but panic? If she had a child, could she still go find me again? Could she still get back together with me? She had already done so many things to hurt me. Now, she was really pregnant with Owen's child. Could I forgive her? She didn't dare to think. The more she thought, the more worried she became. Ashley awkwardly replied, Owen, are you sure you really want to keep this child? Hearing this unexpected question, the smile on Owen's face stiffened. Yes, Ashley. I really want to have a child to keep me company, especially our child. We've discussed this before, right? If you can't accept it, or are worried that Nathan will be jealous or angry because of the child, then you can get rid of this child. Anyway, I only want one child, and it doesn't necessarily have to be yours. He rarely lost control and his tone was a little angry. Ashley panicked slightly and hastily, awkwardly explained, I don't mean that. I can accept this child. I just didn't expect the child to come so quickly. It's okay. I understand any decision you make. If Nathan doesn't want you to, then don't keep this child. I don't want it to affect the relationship between you and Nathan. Even though Nathan is married now, you still have a chance. Owen deliberately retreated to advance. As expected, Ashley made a decision as soon as she heard his words. Owen, I will keep this child and fulfill the responsibilities of a mother. I will be good to it. As for Nathan, I will explain everything clearly. Even if he divorces and comes back to my side, it will definitely not affect our child. Getting the answer he wanted, Owen faintly curved his lips and said a word, good, not caring as long as Ashley was willing to raise this child. That was enough. With the Lamb family protecting the Song family's assets, he had to obtain them. After hanging up, Ashley regretted it. She didn't want to give up the child, but she also didn't know how to persuade me to come back, to persuade me to accept this child. After hesitating for a long time, Ashley chose to continue targeting Scarlett's company. Although the two companies were one in City Jing and one in City S, they both had branches in the two cities. There was even an intersection in the business field, especially in cooperation with the government. The two were also each other's main competitors. Before, Ashley still didn't understand why Scarlett was targeting the Lam family so much. The main business of the Qin and Lam families had little intersection in the years prior. Until Scarlett took control of the Qin family. Ashley just thought that Scarlett was deliberately targeting the Lam family. The Qin and Lam families had old grudges. It was only now that Scarlett had married me that she understood the reason Scarlett was targeting the Lam family. It was because of me that Scarlett was targeting her. So now, Ashley wanted to target Scarlett. It was just using the same tactics. She had to force Scarlett to actively meet her. Ashley had been constantly busy at the company for a long time. Even Owen's active appointments, she had refused several times. Owen didn't mind. He only occasionally sent a few messages and photos at home to reassure her. Ashley didn't think much, only assumed that it was true. Until this day, Tiffany suddenly sent a candid photo in the private room of a bar. In the dimly lit, seductive photo, Owen was hugging a woman with a sexy figure. The two were kissing passionately, their tongues entwined. Owen's hands were restlessly reaching into the woman's chest. Ashley, as your friend, I must warn you this one last time, Owen is not a good person at all. Even if you are pregnant with his child, he is still flirting with other women. If you encounter another accident, losing your value to him, he will not hesitate to give you up again. He might even add insult to injury and hook up with more people when he sees you down. If you continue to be foolish and blindly follow Owen, then I think we don't need to be friends anymore. Every word of Tiffany's carried a sense of regret for someone who didn't know how to value themselves. Ashley held that photo, looking at it countless times, her eyes bloodshot, almost wanting to burst. She was already pregnant with his child. Why was he still flirting with other women? Hadn't she been good enough to him these days? Hadn't she sacrificed so much for him, no longer calculating old grudges? Why was he still hurting her heart like this? A surge of anger rose in Ashley's heart. Angrily, she typed a few words and sent the address to her, I'll be there right away. After Tiffany sent the location, Ashley quickly arrived. Outside the private room, Ashley exuded a bone-chilling coldness. Tiffany consciously took a few steps back, not wanting to be infected. The two people in the room were still kissing as if there was no one else. Deeper and deeper. Owen skillfully changed his breath and kissed her, his hands caressing the woman's chest. It was possible. But it wasn't the way. Of course, baby, you are mine. Have you prepared the medicine? He snapped at her. Hayden hesitantly took out the syringe, but it was directly snatched by Owen. Seeing his satisfaction with the way he followed the directions, Hayden still couldn't help but said that he did not like her. What if this drug is leaked out? He wouldn't need you anymore. It was only when they had been intimate enough that the two were no longer so guarded as before. There was something about him that she liked. I will do what you are unable to do. She responded. Treat you like that. Once my plan succeeds, it will benefit both you and me. Ashley loves me and won't pursue it. Hayden gave a bitter smile and nodded, hoping that was the case. The two hugged intimately. Ashley stood at the door, hearing the entire conversation, feeling as if she had fallen into an ice cellar, her whole body extremely cold. She had said similar words to me before. Now, in some way, the karma was coming back on her. Only when she personally experienced these hurtful words could she truly feel the pain I had felt knowing everything. Her chest was as if a large hole had been torn open, the cold wind rushing in. Her heart had also been shattered, intensely painful, heartbroken to despair, a feeling that tore through her soul, not pleasant at all. Ashley's gaze turned cold, her small face gradually showing a ruthless look. With a bang, she abruptly pushed open the door and slapped Hayden across the face, sending her staggering back. Then, red-eyed, she grabbed Owen's throat with both hands. "Owen, you really have the nerve. You're sure that I love you and won't do anything to you, right?" Her breath became increasingly rare. Owen's face turned purple, continuously hitting Ashley's hands, struggling uncomfortably. "Let go, I beg you." His voice was hoarse, like a broken bellows, rough and unpleasant. She wasn't moved at all, her eyes only filled with intense hatred. "Owen, I really hate you to death. I've sacrificed so much for you. Before, in your mouth, it was only capital to show off with. I endured it when you saw that my legs were paralyzed, and I no longer had any value for you to exploit, and you dumped me. I also endured it. You saw that I had recovered and returned home and wanted me to abort my child and take Nathan's kidney for you. All of this, I endured. Only because I loved you. But how did you treat me? What did you ultimately see me as? Your most convenient tool to exploit? I'm a living person here. My heart is also made of flesh, and I also know pain. Owen, did you have to be so cruel to me?" Ashley screamed until her voice was hoarse, as if she wanted to pour out all the anger in her heart at once. The force of Owen's struggling hand gradually weakened. The degree of wriggling also became smaller and smaller, unable to make any sound. His eyes rolled back, seeing that he was truly about to faint from lack of oxygen. Ashley finally released her hand. But the fire of anger burning in her eyes didn't intend to extinguish. Cough, cough. Owen coughed violently, almost wanting to cough his lungs out, his face full of lucky survival. After a long time, he gradually regained consciousness and immediately knelt on the ground. "Ashley, you misunderstood me. I didn't intend to bully you. I really didn't. I love you. It's just that, I had no other way. The Song family's business, if I don't fight for it, I'll have nothing. I'll have to wander the streets. You don't want to see that scene, do you?" Ashley laughed desperately, laughing even more terribly than crying. "I really didn't expect that at this point. You're still putting on a show, deceiving me. You say you love me, but when you get into bed with me, asking for a child, you're simultaneously getting into bed with other women. What's the matter? One child isn't enough for you? Or is your nature just that licentious? You say you have no choice, wanting the Song family's assets. You can completely tell me. I'll help you fight for it. But why are you so greedy, even wanting all of the Lamb family? You even wanted me to take the suicide pill. If you agreed to marry me, whether it's the Song family or the Lamb family, it would all be yours. What could you want but have not? Why did you have to hurt my feelings for you like this?" Ashley furiously questioned, word by word. Owen's face was pale, his face full of embarrassment, his lips moving, unable to say a word for a long time. The entire room was dead silent. After a long time, Owen awkwardly replied, "It's not the same. These two things aren't the same." As for how specifically it was different, he didn't want to say. Ashley's eyes were full of disappointment, her voice as cold as ice. "You can't say it, right? Then let me say it for you. You feel that if you marry me, the Song family and the Lamb family can't completely belong to you. You want power and assets, holding everything tightly in your own hands. Owen, you're so greedy. But have you really looked at yourself closely? Do you really have the ability to control everything? Besides being able to deceive me and these worthless women, what else can you do? You're not even as good as Nathan." Seeing his thoughts being revealed by her, Owen stopped pretending to be pitiful. Angrily, he retorted, "How can Nathan compare to me? We stand on the same starting line. He's not as good as me. I have worked so hard for so many years and still can't get her heart. But I can easily hold you tightly in my hands. Isn't that enough? That I can deceive and coax so many women into listening to me. Doesn't that count as my ability?" He laughed indifferently, his eyes full of malice. "Ashley, I know you love me. We already have our child. Don't make a fuss anymore. Didn't you just want me to break up with those women? I'll break up with them, okay? Later, I'll marry you. The three of us, one family, will live well, forgetting all that happened before today. Can we start over? He confidently awaited Ashley's affirmative answer. However, this time, from beginning to end, she only showed coldness. Owen, I truly regret ever loving you, losing Nathan. Before, you could always deceive me. It was only because I loved you. Otherwise, with your clumsy tricks, it's not enough to deceive me at all. But from today onward, I don't love you anymore. I give you up. Owen. Ashley's voice was as calm as water, without a ripple, as if she was talking about something that didn't concern her. However, in her heart, it was far from as calm as it seemed. A person that I had loved for 10 years, having to give up completely, was like digging out a foul-smelling piece of rotten flesh. It was so painful that it almost made her lose consciousness. But she couldn't. She still had things to handle. Ashley bit down hard on her tongue, the taste of fresh blood quickly spreading in her mouth. The pain kept her conscious. The unwanted bastard of Owen will be abandoned. I don't want to see it continue to exist in this world. Saying that, she indifferently turned to leave, but Owen hugged her from behind. Kai Vai. I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. Can you forgive me? You've forgiven me so many times before. Forgive me just one more time, okay? Isn't this personality of mine because you spoiled me? I and Ha Van Yen never had anything happen. Do you believe me? Even if you don't believe me, give me a chance. I will definitely be a good father. He said, and the two hands tightened around her waist, his voice weak. There was the slightest possibility of this and more. Her heart simply wasn't capable of bringing any pity together. Ashley and the most extreme version of coldness broke all of his fingers apart. She did not mind. Owen, it is not to be compromised, and that is because our conversation has been going on for so long. There will be and never shall be any chance of our two personalities ever being together in the same room. It is to be said that you had not listened to me for the entirety that we had known each other. Just before those cold words, Song Kamnian's heart was destroyed. The tables would simply be no more. Please. As his last attempt, he kneeled to the ground, in hopes to have a chance to see his life be extended for the better. He grabbed at her legs, though they continued to be forced back down. They had given up. Her coldness did not give way but instead continued to only give off the feeling of absolute nothingness. There would be no forgiveness. The very existence of his would now end. He has been the end, all the while that he had known her, but just now was a step too far. I am so sorry for all the years that had passed, was the only statement that the man could muster up in order to convince her of his humanity. He knew that it was all over now and that she had no hope. His plea had been made from a moment that he did not think the time would come, but now here they were. What could she say or do that would have him spared? With a cold expression, Long Kai Vai gave in to what was going to happen, a quick and near painful ending. It was almost too much to bring to him in order to make up for his errors. After everything, it was only a matter of whether or not this was the result of where she wanted her new life to turn. She could turn in any case, but to this date, she does not remember why she had made such a big effort in the first place. To him, nothing was there. It had always been a waste of time, and what has he ever truly given in return? She's got no help for that man. It was the end and he knew. Sooner as the procedure had come to a close, she remembered not his face, but the feeling of peace and satisfaction that she could now move on with whatever was to happen and had no more tears or efforts left. That day had always brought her to be, but now, she needed a break. They had not talked ever since. From her mind, it seems. No more has ever been able to satisfy all the wounds, but rather they did seem to just have been an echo. Time after time she has been able to get there, but it was not for free. That long since night, that time she will remember, for all the things that would come about to be. Now she has made her mark. With no intent to depart. Not? Even though these days they lived a simple and happy life, Scarlett still had some unease in her heart. After all, I had truly loved Ashley for so many years, and her heart couldn't help but flutter. I gave her a reassuring look, took her hand, and intertwined our fingers. I won't look back. I don't want to see her again. Scarlett, you can be a little more confident. Right now, the only thing I regret is that I didn't give up on Ashley sooner and be with you. As soon as these words were spoken, Scarlett's eyes widened in surprise. Seeing her like that, I chuckled, leaned down, and kissed her lips. Scarlett, I haven't loved her in a long time. I'm trying to love you, so now, please help me chase her away. She's a bit of an eyesore. Scarlett subconsciously licked her lips, her fingertips touching the trace of that kiss. Her heart was filled with joy. Okay, I'll chase her away and won't let her appear in front of you. Saying that, she pushed me toward the entrance of the company. No longer clumsy and adorable as before, her gaze instantly darkened. Her whole body exuded a terrifying aura as she walked in front of Ashley and slapped her hard. Ashley, why are you still, Chan, a phrase meaning to pester, my husband. He already said he wouldn't forgive you. These efforts of yours are so laughable. You didn't treasure him before and hurt Nathan so many times. Now you're pretending to find someone to morally tie him down? Do you really think he'll forgive you like that? Impossible. As she said this, her movements became faster and faster. A cruel light flashed in her eyes, as if she wanted to beat Ashley to death. Ashley also used all her strength to resist. Scarlett, the one Nathan truly likes is me. I'll apologize for what I did wrong, and I'm willing to do whatever he wants. But this has nothing to do with you. You're just a thief taking advantage of someone in trouble to rob him. Don't think he'll love you. The two tangled together, each blow ruthless, not leaving any leeway. Even their mouths didn't forget to stab at each other's hearts. Scarlett laughed coldly. Love you? Love you and marry me? Love you and kiss me, fulfilling marital duties with me? Ashley, don't think too highly of yourself. He won't love you, much less forgive you. You should give up that idea soon. Saying that, behind her, there were also countless guards. Scarlett wasn't easy to provoke. As long as she could achieve the goal of chasing Ashley away, she didn't mind calling as many people as it took. This was her territory. Several guards held Ashley tightly, not giving her a chance to struggle. More than a few injuries were added to her body, but as if she didn't feel the pain, her eyes stared fixedly at me in the distance, struggling with all her might. Nathan, I'm sorry. Saying that, Ashley suddenly coughed up several mouthfuls of fresh blood. Her internal organs had almost been displaced from the beating. She still persevered in looking at me, not wanting to miss any of my expressions. Scarlett only felt extremely disgusted and quickly waved her hand, signaling the guards to drag Ashley away. She used a wet towel to carefully wipe herself clean. All of Ashley's blood, until she was completely clean, did she walk to me. Do you usually think I'm a little violent? On her cold, distant face, worry was written all over. I shook my head. Not only that, I didn't expect. Ashley then turned her head to me, curious. She wasn't to be with Owen, and why this is happening right now. Scarlett told me everything she had investigated about Owen. Hearing what Owen had done, I was very surprised. I didn't expect Ashley's repentance to be in this way, but it was also very funny. Previously, I had been by her side for so many years, treating her so well, and it wasn't enough to sway her. Now, Owen actually wanted to harm her body, was having relations with other women, was only exploiting her, and wanted to seize the Lamb family. Only then did she truly give up her love for Owen. It seemed that indeed, you don't know pain until the knife is stabbed into yourself. If Owen needed a kidney transplant and it was said the most simple way, and she could not take it back, but if that were to be done for Ashley as well. That wasn't something to be done on the world. In any situation, I know all of these feelings and what I would do for me. That feeling of all I want for this would be for her. Now in such a relationship that I will follow and you have the world, the way she may truly has come, but there would be and may never be anyone quite like that, there is one that is. We are now. Now everything else you would understand and see the two will be something to have forever be seen and followed. Not the best, but just a touch more. And as they set the love and what had happened with the others aside, they fell apart but only for now. From now on to everything. It would be easy to forget and move on. We have the now. No more, only one thing, and there may only ever be one thing or forever with us. One more with us. This woman is something out of a dream. Just hold on and love everything the world. The way she does it. And as they both looked, the two began to move forward. With what had become of it. Now you could go out and set fire with just a torch, and there could only ever be the one, but forever just with the two we now had. I wanted that for each one of us. And to be more now, we could only touch. I'm with that. Even for what to hold now and see the torch. I want more. The same with all of the things and more. From that night and many to come. From all of the words. Even as they seem to not be all that could be asked or wanted, they are for the love. As always that had been and could truly be, the way it all meant to all of us. Was the way that love would all have to do. And with that, the two went home. The morning could not be anything more than what would soon be and could never have before. One could say it was all on one, but one was a bit more to do. All those words were what could be and would continue all forever. That night was always going to be something. That morning was what was the first time to take and have more that was here. Always was, has, and to forever be. Always. Now was the way that we are and will be. For our life, death, and to forever be. They made themselves the love to forever be and live on. To all of us. It had been what they were. It was love that we can see. But that's what made it and us. It was perfect with all there was. We made it. As we stood hand in hand with all who has been in the path, we say hello and goodbye, what must be must be. We will see where that leaves the others, but it may not be good. It's done and time has come. For what they had done. And that we have won. All the past is over. And now we must see.